When I was 13 years old, I returned home from school, eager to race to my room, unseen. If I made it past the foyer to the stairs, I was in the clear. As my foot touched that first step, I heard, "Lisa, I need to tell you something." I froze and then turned. Mom stood in the living room, beckoning me. Something very disturbing happened to me today. I went to the eye doctor. Do you know what he did? He shot a microchip in my eye. Poof! I was stuck there, looking at her frenzied face, listening to her words fraught with fear. How else could it have gotten there? It was then that I stopped listening and started escaping my mother. She cloaked her delusions with the etiquette of her English heritage, with proper pronunciation and an air of superiority. The extremely bizarre can come out sounding merely curious. This skill of hers complicated our situation. My survival skills protected me. Her illness and her inability to acknowledge it kept her from me. When I was 16 years old and the topic of Mom came up, I'd say she's tired or weird. I might have gone ahead and let it out. My mom is crazy. To commiserate, because many of our mothers seemed a little nutty to us at the time, you might have said, "Duh, yeah, my mom's crazy too." But mine wore an eye patch, kept our blinds closed, and ripped the phone from the wall. Be careful what you say on the phone. You don't know who's listening. When I was 26 years old, I called my sister Kate with an annual Christmas report. I got a stained tablecloth and a mashed York peppermint patty from Mom for Christmas. When I told Mom about the soiled cloth, she said, that's strange. It wasn't soiled when I sent it." "Oh my gosh," Kate said. "Well, you always were her favorite." I got a slimming suit for people who need help holding their flat bellies in. I laughed. Yep, she clearly loves me more. When I was 36 years old, a mental health program director named Glenn asked me why I was interested in his organization. I told him about how I'd been raised with a mother with untreated paranoid schizophrenia. I explained Mom to him in great detail, expecting him to sympathize with how it must really suck to have a mother who isn't available and never has been. "What an amazing woman," he exclaimed. I almost accepted his compliment. Okay, I am amazing. He continued, "To have the courage and the wherewithal to live with such an illness and yet still function as well as she has. That's really extraordinary." I was stunned. I can only hope it didn't show, because in that moment, with that person who had given his entire life, his career to compassionately helping hundreds of people with illnesses similar to my mom's, I got it. When I was 46 years old, my sister Kate and I visited Mom after our dad died. As we attempted to declutter the junk mail piles to find our way to a surface, Mom shoved an envelope in my direction. "What about this one?" "Mom, recycle these requests for donations. You get hundreds of them a week." "I can't do that. I've looked at the return address." "What do you mean?" "Once I look at an envelope, they know I've seen it. They might take revenge." "What do you mean, revenge? What might they do?" I needed her to share more. I chose not to escape. Well, why is my checkbook missing? Why do I get such pains in my shoulder? She maintained the intensity of her stare, and I recalled the microchip and the eye doctor. She hadn't mentioned it in 33 years, but she talked about it again that day. When Mom explained her fear of retribution by nonprofits seeking donations, I grasped her mental torture and her amazing strength and courage. As her daughter, I should always feel compassion for Mom. But perhaps because I'm her daughter, I do not. I've accepted that my mother will never be able to know me, but I can do my best to know her. I received a note from Mom a week after I returned from our visit. She included 1 tooth floss pick and 2 pieces of gum from a pack. My sister Kate texted me for the report. What treasures had I received? Our bounty from Mom was identical. She loves us both equally.